Hey everybody, Worm Racer 08 here. I'd like to welcome everybody to another tutorial. And first let me say Happy Mother's Day to all you guys out there. And if there's any mothers watching, a special Happy Mother's Day to you guys. Anyway, today's lesson we're going to revisit this 4-part series that I did. I was using AJAX to submit a form. And I've had a couple comments from some of you YouTubers that wanted to see how we would send the form details to an email, because actually and I should have done this from the beginning, and I'll try to in future videos, but make them more useful, because it really this contact form doesn't really do anything other than let the user know whether or not the message was submitted successfully. And we did that through AJAX, and we put some error checking in to make sure the fields were all filled out and whatnot. But essentially it didn't do anything. Our PHP script just returned an error or a message that said it was valid. So today we're just going to add a few lines to our PHP script and get this thing sent out to your email address like you guys requested. So if you visit my YouTube channel, it's YouTube/user WormRacer08. You can find it in my list of videos, but it was a 4-part series. Let's see where they at, called AJAX form submission using jQuery, and so we're going to pick up there. If you haven't watched the series, you might want to watch the series. There's a link in the video description for the demo as well as a source package I put together. I'm not going to upload a new source package because it's just a very little bit of code that we're going to add to make this work. So anyway, let's jump into Dreamweaver. And this was our index.html page. It had our form and everything. And in the source package there was a style sheet, a link to our jQuery, a link to our AJAX functions, our JavaScript file, and then there was also a file called feedback.php. And this is the file that we're going to modify. And we really don't have to do anything too much except use PHP's mail function to send this data that we're already posting to our script here, send it out to an email. So we've got our data coming in, our name, email, and message, and we had a couple hidden fields here that we checked to make sure that try not to get any spam. And we ran through our error checking and whatnot. And then if all that was good, we had our else statement here that said we're going to return our JSON data, our error array as false, and we're going to send a message back that said, hey, thanks, whatever the name field was, and we'd return that with a JSON encoded string. Well, before we do that, what we're going to do here is if we jump down inside of this else statement, and we'll put a comment in here where we're going to send to an email, and we need to set up some variables. So we're going to use a variable called to, and this needs to be equal to wherever you want this data to be sent to. So you know, I'm just going to use a fake email, but you would want to put an email at Gmail or Live or Hotmail. Wherever you want this data to be sent to is where this needs to go. So we'll just say email@provider.com, and that's in quotes and a semicolon. And let's create another variable called from, and this is going to be, this will show up actually as the from address in the mail headers and also in the email that gets sent out. And this actually needs to be an email that's on your domain, on your website. So say you had an email that was admin@yoursite.com, and so this actually needs to be a valid email address on your site. Otherwise you'll get the default probably nobody@yourhost.com or whatever, and you're more likely to go into the spam folder like that. So anyway, we're going to create a headers variable, and the first thing we're going to set on this is going to be the meme version or mime version, however you like to say it. Anyway, we're going to set this meme-version and colon 1.0, and then we're going to use the period, and we're going to add a blank line. So \n, which will create a new line, and a semicolon. We're going to add something else to our headers, and these are going to be the message headers that get sent out. So instead of just equals, we need the period equals so that we can add this to the existing variable and not just overwrite what's in the variable. We don't want to set the variable equal to this line. We want to add this next string to it. We're going to put our from, so we'll say from and a colon, and then we're going to use our from variable, so a from, and we'll close that, and then we'll use the period to add a new line to this as well. So \new line, and close that off. Now let's create a subject for our message. So we'll create a subject variable, and we'll set this equal to, let's see, we have a contact form submission. This can be anything you want, whatever you want it to be, whatever you want. Since this is going to probably go to you, make it say whatever you want it to say. Let's create a new line here, so \n, and close that off, and a semicolon. Now let's create the body of our message. So we'll create a variable called body, and we'll set the first thing equal to name, since that's one of our fields, our first field in our form. And let's see here, we'll couple spaces, and we'll close that off, and then we'll use the period and our variable of name that we posted up here. If you remember, we posted name, email, and message, and these are the three that we want to send in our email. So we're going to have our body, our message is going to say name, and then whoever filled out the form and their name. So we have name, and then let's add a new line here. Let's see, opening quote \n, close that, and then let's add something else to our body, which is going to be, remember, period equals to add to our body message, email. Alright, couple spaces, period, and our variable of email, and then period and a new line, and a semicolon. And also, one more, we need the message that they sent along with it. So period equals, and we'll say our message, message, couple spaces, period, and our variable, what did we call that variable? It was message, okay. message. Alright, and then period and \n for a new line and a semicolon. So now our email message is set up and ready to be sent. We've got our to, which is going to be the address that you want the email to be sent to with this data. The from, which is going to be a valid email address that's on your site. Our meme type, the from, where we want this to be from, which is this variable. We've got our subject and our body of our email. So now let's skip down a couple lines here, and we'll put a comment in, and this is going to be, let's see, this is going to send our email and return a message to the user. Alright, so we're going to create an if statement here. So if, and we're going to use PHP's mail function, if mail, then another, or not another, but a opening parenthesis, and in this mail we've got 4 and optionally a 5th parameters that we need to pass in. So the first one is going to be our to variable, comma, and then our subject, comma, and then the body of our message, and then comma, and then our headers. And these are these 4 variables here we just defined here. And then optionally, you can do this if you're getting problems with, your message is showing up in the inbox at, say you're hosted at GoDaddy, and it's being sent from nobody at GoDaddy.com or whatever. The mail function will take a fifth parameter with the F switch. So we would say -F, and then you would put the email address here. So whatever you wanted it to be, admin at yoursite.com, and then we close off. This is closing off the mail function, and then closing off our if statement. We're not going to use the F switch for this tutorial. If you have problems with your messages being sent as nobody, try doing it like this. Apache can be configured 9 million different ways, and hosts are all different. So sometimes you may have this issue, sometimes not. Anyway, we're going to use two subject body headers. We've closed off our mail function here, and we've closed off our if statement. Now let's get our opening brace, and we will skip down and our closing brace. So if our mail function returns true, if it's successful, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to take this right here, and we're going to Control X, and we're going to paste that right inside of our if statement. So Control V, let me tab this over. So if our mail is successful, we're going to return, just like we did before, a message to the user that says, hey, thanks for your feedback. You might want to change this to, we'll be in contact soon, whatever. But if it's not successful, what are we going to do? Well, we need to let them know, just like we did here before, if they didn't fill out all the form fields, that there was something wrong. So we're going to say else. If our mail function is not successful, opening brace, closing brace, and inside of this else, we're just going to grab this right here and Control C and Control V, and we will tab this over, and we can change this message to something like, there was a problem sending your email. Please try again. And then all of our bases are covered. If they fill out the form properly, then we will try and attempt to send our mail through PHP's mail function. If that's successful, then we'll return this result back to the browser and everything will be good. Otherwise, they'll send them a message that said, oh, there was a problem. So, and that's it. That's absolutely it. So let's go take a look at the final deal here. We've got our feedback form. We haven't filled it out, so let's fill it out. Aaron and my email at myemail.com, and test message. Alright, submit it. It's processing. And it works just like normal. And if I open up Outlook, I bet you I have a message. And let's see here. And look at that. We've got, it's from admin@aarontennyson.com. Our subject, which was contact form submission. And here's the body of our text. Aaron, my email at myemail.com, test message. So there you go, guys. A couple of you fellows had asked me, see who, remember who it was real quick here. Victor Galaxy and
Hello.
Dreamer Wolf 0, I believe. So I hope this is, guys, what you wanted. I appreciate you taking time to look at my video and asking some questions here. Happy Mother's Day again, and we'll catch you guys next time.